Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Right now at 5, the Supreme Court is expected to rule today on two much-anticipated cases. Today, concerning President Donald Trump's tax returns. What we could learn coming up.
New court documents say 13-year-old Patricia Alatorre met the man who would kill her on social media. What all parents should know about online risks still ahead.
And returning to Ridgecrest, we check back in with the woman who lost her home during last year's earthquakes to see how she's moving on. Today is Thursday, July 9th, 2020. Good morning, Kern County. It is 5 a.m. on this Thursday. Thanks for starting your morning with us. And if you're waking up this morning and you're a little confused because things might look a little different, don't worry, you're not dreaming. We have a beautiful new set that we are unveiling for you this morning. And I have to say, I'm so sad that I'm not in there this morning. But Maddie and Kevin, I know you are going to really show things off today because it is a gorgeous set. And the reason why this is so much fun to have is because we're going to have the opportunity to tell stories like we never have before.
Yeah, there are a lot of toys as we've been putting it, and it is absolutely beautiful. We can't wait to show it off for you and show you a little bit about what it can do, especially I know Kevin's excited to get into the Weather Center and give you your forecast. So let's talk about that, and we'll show you more of the set coming up this morning, we promise. But let's talk about the heat headed our way, Kev.
Yeah, definitely going to see a major warm-up heading into the weekend and into next week. Today, though, we're going to try to keep you near 100. Outside right now, we've got clear skies around Kern County. As you can see on our downtown cam looking off to the east, the sun is slowly starting to come on up. Our temperature right now, 71 degrees, so a nice mild start. No winds to talk about at this time. As we take a look at the hour-by-hour forecast, and you can see throughout the day by 9 a.m. we should be in the lower 80s and then progressing near 100 by 3 o'clock. As we take a look at the mountain areas, Tehachapi currently 61. We have that westerly wind at 9 miles per hour. And we take a look at the wind forecast for you today. We will see a little bit of a breeze pickup throughout the afternoon, but for the most part, we'll be looking at a light breeze. Here's a look at the mountain forecast throughout the day for you. And you can see mid 70s by 9 a.m. and mid to upper 80s as we progress into the afternoon. I've got much more in your pinpoint forecast that's coming up in just a bit.
All right, thank you, Kevin. New and disturbing details emerged in the kidnapping and murder of 13-year-old Patricia Alatorre. Court documents reveal gruesome details about her final moments. 17's Kern has a story that we want to warn you is difficult to hear.
Rest in peace, Patricia. Amen.
It's a gruesome story that ended with tragedy. 24-year-old Armando Cruz could face the death penalty for what he's accused of doing to Patricia Alatorre. Patty, as her family called her. According to new court documents, the two met on social media, talking for about a week. Cruz knew Patty was just 13, yet he convinced her to send him 20 explicit photos of herself. And he sent her a nude photo of himself too, the report says. The document details how Cruz drove from Inglewood to Bakersfield, persuading her to meet twice. The report saying he did it with the purpose of engaging in sexual acts. Surveillance video from the night of July 1st shows Patty getting into his white pickup truck, according to Bakersfield police. The report says he drove her around the block against her will as she screamed, then raped her as she continued to scream. He tied her arms with duct tape and also taped her mouth and nose with the intention of killing her so he wouldn't get in trouble, the document says. When he knew she was dead, he took her to a secluded area in Los Angeles County, then set her body on fire. Cruz is now charged with 12 felonies, including first-degree murder, kidnapping, rape, and possession of child pornography. He's been denied bail, and he's due back in court on July 30th.
Karen Hua, 17 News.
One of 3 runaway teens is back home this morning. Bakersfield police say 16-year-old Brisa Torres was found yesterday. There was some concern when police said she was last seen getting into a white pickup truck, similar to Patricia Alatorre's case. But police made it clear she was not the victim of a crime, and her case has no ties to Alatorre's case. 2 other teens, Caitlin Kinoshita and Benjamin Sandoval, are still missing this morning. Kinoshita has not been seen since July 4th in Oildale. Police say she may be with a man and traveling in a black two-door sedan. Meanwhile, Benjamin Sandoval is from California City, but his family says he has run off to Bakersfield before, or as far as Tulare County. Both teens have medical conditions. If you see either of them, contact police.
The events of this week have shocked our community, bringing up questions of how parents can protect their children. Right now, kids are more active on social media than ever because of the pandemic. 17's Taylor Schaub joins us in studio this morning with tips to keep your children safe online. Taylor?
Well, good morning, Maddie. As apps like Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok become part of your child's everyday life, experts warn parents have a social media strategy to combat the frightening reality of online communication. In a time where in-person visits can be virtually non-existent, online communication is fully embraced by both those young and old. Lewis Gill with the Alliance Against Family Violence says we need to make sure our children are safe while using social media.
We need to let our kids know that not everybody has the good intent of just being a friend.
He says parents need to become heavily involved with monitoring their kids' online interaction. Parents must know their passwords, must have regular conversations about posts, and should install some parental controls.
It's important that we teach our kids that how people represent themselves online is not necessarily who they are. That 14-year-old boy might be a 40-year-old man.
Sergeant Kelly Polk with the Bakersfield Police Department says this issue will only grow if parents don't have access to their kids' accounts.
You get in their backpack when they get home from school to see what they have going on there. Well, you need to get in their phone pretty routinely to see what they have going on in there as well.
These checks, plus adding privacy features to their children's accounts, are pivotal in limiting access of online aggressors.
This is how predators operate. They will use social media as a grounds in which to do their hunting, and then they will prey upon individuals that are just looking for friendships and looking for contact.
And of course, both Gill and Polk say if you see any strange behavior, contact law enforcement right away.
If you don't know the person, you should never meet them. And you should go tell your dad or your mom, they asked to meet me. Get some help.
For a full list of resources to help keep your child safe on social media, go to kgt.com and click on the hot link icon. In studio, Taylor Schaub, 17 News.
Tragic news from around the state. A small child died after being left in a hot car in Fullerton. The child was left in the car yesterday as it sat in the family's driveway. Family members and first responders tried to revive the child, but the child was pronounced dead at the scene. Fullerton police say it appears the death was accidental. And this incident serves as a reminder to parents to stay vigilant as weather gets hotter. California ranks third in the nation for hot car deaths. Since 1990, 62 children have died in hot cars here in the state. Most times these deaths happen when adults simply forget that kids are in the cars. So be sure to look around a vehicle before you lock it. Try putting a wallet or a cell phone in the back seat near children as an additional reminder to look around the car before exiting. In other cases, children who wander into a garage and climb in on their own and then get stuck. So keep car keys away from small children who might try to get inside, and make sure the car is locked once you and the children are out of it.
Some local school districts are working on a plan to get kids back in the classroom this fall. Now the North School District Board of Trustees are taking steps. Last night at its meeting, the board did not make any concrete decisions. Members reportedly talked about traditional classroom learning with precautions and distancing or virtual learning. The board plans to mull over the options and possibly decide on Monday how to move forward. You may remember last week the Rosedale Union School District said it will offer 3 options for its students: traditional learning, distance learning, or a blend of both.
It's hard to believe students are set to head back to school next month, and a local group wants to help those looking for supplies. The Sisters United and Wine a Sister Up is holding back to school drives. Organizers say they're asking for all kinds of school supplies. You can drop off donations at Nikki Beauty Supply on Ming Avenue. They're taking supplies until next Thursday. You can email wineassistaup@gmail.com. And now to the latest on COVID-19. Another huge jump reported by Kern Public Health, our highest increase yet. The department reported 216 new cases on Wednesday. Since early March, we've had more than 5,700 cases and 3 more people died from COVID-19 as of yesterday. Our death toll in Kern County now stands at 87. Right now, 146 people are isolated in local hospitals, and according to the state, there are 60 people being cared for in the intensive care unit. Nearly 1,700 are self-quarantined at home. More than 3,800 people have recovered from the virus. We'll bring you updated numbers today at 10 a.m. You can watch that live on KGET at 10 a.m. or on our KGET Facebook page. Meantime, the city of Arvin is giving away free masks to the community this weekend. Last month, the Arvin City Council approved an ordinance requiring the use of masks by all employees at any business in the city, and all businesses are required to post signs encouraging customers to wear a mask. Operation Mask Up Arvin will be held this Saturday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Garden in the Sun Park on Walnut Drive. There's a limit of 10 masks per vehicle. The city purchased the masks with funds from the CARES Act. Kern Recovers is a program set up to provide forgivable loans through the county to local businesses with fewer than 200 employees. So how's it working? 17's Aton Wallace has a look at how many businesses have received funding so far.
Yeah, the good news is hundreds of businesses have received funding, and that has no doubt saved local jobs. However, some business owners say their loan applications were denied.
At the Ramirez Auto Detail Wednesday, employees were hard at work, something not possible just a few months ago when this deep car cleaning business had to lay off workers during the first weeks of the COVID outbreak. But now, thanks to a Kern Recovers forgivable loan of $31,000, the 4 employees at this Nissan subcontractor have been brought back.
Anytime you have some type of financial support, of course, it's going to be less of a burden.
Marcela Ramirez owns this business with her husband. Their company is one of 634 local businesses across 203 industries in Kern to receive loans. The program is through the county and separate from the federal Paycheck Protection Program, but it is funded through the federal government, $25 million to be exact. Of that, $18.3 million has already been given out to local businesses with an average loan totaling $27,300.
We actually just have some comfort zone right now, knowing that we have enough to be able to pay the employees to be on payroll again.
The loan must be approved by one of 4 local banks, a process Ramirez says worked for her with Valley Republic.
Very, very easy. It was, I think, a turnaround about a week and a half.
But for others,
it's been frustrating, definitely.
Daniela Fuentes is the manager at Split Ends Hair Salon. Her mom, Ramona Phillips, has owned this business for 2 decades. But as times got tough, so did paying the rent. That's why Fuentes says she applied for a loan with one of the local banks, but was denied because the business ran a loss last year, something she says does not make sense.
Other businesses that have had a loss, in the last year that I know of personally have gotten approved. So we're not applying because we want all this free money. No, we're applying because we still have to pay the months that we were closed. We still had to pay our utilities to stay on.
Still, she's keeping her head high.
This is a business that my mom built, and I'm not going to let the doors close because of something like this. But it definitely would help because now I can at least pay that back quickly and we move forward.
Fuentes says, adding to the frustration, she applied for a PPP loan, but it too was denied. She plans to appeal that and reapply for the Kern Recovers loan through another bank. Now, if you'd like to apply, simply go to the county website. We have posted a link to that on our site, kget.com. In studio, Aton Wallace, 17 News.
A local Staples opening back up today, offering new takeout options for your enjoyment. Hodell's is reopening its doors and will be operating lunch and dinner. The restaurant's offering different takeout options, including build your own, curbside takeout, and a family pack. The family pack feeds a group of 5 or more, and it's packaged ahead of time. Build your own takeout offers the most variety, where you can choose from whatever is hot and ready. They're also offering curbside takeout, which has a limited menu. You can order on their website. That's Hodells.com. I do miss their chicken and their cinnamon rolls.
President Trump is pressuring schools to reopen this fall, threatening to withhold funding if governors and local leaders do not agree. The CDC is set to release new safety guidelines on reopening schools after the president criticized the original version.
Alice Barr has the latest from Washington.
Good morning, Maddie and Alex. The pressure to reopen schools comes as U.S. coronavirus cases are surging, hitting a record 60,000 in one day just this week.
We've had a very outstanding relationship.
President Trump is pushing schools to reopen while pushing back against CDC guidelines for schools he calls expensive and impractical.
We want to learn in the classroom, so our schools, we want them open in the fall.
The president is threatening to cut off federal funding to schools that don't open their doors. And the CDC now says it will issue new safety recommendations next week.
What is not the intent of CDC's guidelines is to be used as a rationale to keep schools closed.
The existing voluntary CDC guidelines include, if possible, keeping desks 6 feet apart and closing cafeterias and playgrounds, as well as encouraging kids to use cloth face coverings. Research shows children are less likely to fall seriously ill from COVID-19, but schools need adults too, and teachers' unions are warning of real fears.
You're going to have a lot of teachers either take a leave of absence or ask for reasonable accommodations or just quit.
A Joe Biden advisor accusing the Trump administration of laying down orders without providing help.
Now we're going to tell them they have to buy their own PPE to teach, they have to buy their own sanitizer, they have to buy their own deep cleaning supplies for their classrooms. This is the kind of thing that the federal government, Washington, should lead on.
Vice President Pence saying the administration will work with Congress on providing incentives for schools to reopen in the next funding bill.
As colleges and universities are working through their own plans, Ivy League schools announced they'll be canceling the fall season for all sports, including football, raising questions over whether other college conferences might do the same. In Washington, Alice Barr, 17 News.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.